Wow. Okay, Durga Puja is not just about remembering the old traditions and performing some rituals, but it is also to enjoy to the fullest, to hang around with family, friends, eating out, dancing, music, and whatnot. Well, I've been talking for long alone. Kriti, where is Kriti? Oh, Kriti is our next performer. He's not going to dance or sing for you, but he's going to tell you a story. Goppo bolbe. So what else? The stage is all yours, Kriti.
Hello? I'm going to tell you a story. This story is about storytelling. So I'll start. So once upon a time, there lived a very powerful king who used to rule over the largest kingdom on earth. He had one child, a beautiful young princess. When the princess grew up to be of marriageable age, the king started to worry. He thought that he should find the best man to marry his daughter, because that man would be the future king. So he called his daughter one day and said, "Daughter, I'm going to tell everybody who to come and meet you, whoever wants to ask for your hand in marriage, and you would talk to them and you would decide who is the best husband for you." So the daughter said, "Yes, Papa, sure, Papa," and the daughter went away. So this announcement was made, and many powerful men, princes from neighboring kingdoms, wealthy merchants, wrestlers, strong wrestlers, everybody came in huge numbers, and they came and tried to woo the princess. First, maybe a prince would come and start talking about how he fought this war and led huge armies to win big battles. And the princess would think, "Oh ma, this person is the best for me." And then a wealthy merchant would come and he would talk about how he went to the far country and got beautiful jewels and a huge treasure. And the princess would think, "In fact, I should marry him instead." Then a wrestler would come and he would talk about his muscles and how he can fight elephants and beat 100 men at one time. And then the princess would think, "In fact, I should marry him instead." And like this, more merchants and more princes and more wrestlers came, and the poor princess, she got confused. She didn't know whom to choose from amongst so many good suitors, and so she ran to her father and said, "Papa, Papa, dekho na, আমি বুঝতে পারছি না. I'm too confused. What should I do?" And the king understood, and he said, "Daughter, don't cry. I'm going to think of something. Let me think. And he was thinking, and suddenly he came up with an idea. He said that, "Yes, you know how I like to listen to stories? I am going to ask all these people, whoever can tell me a story which lasts 7 days and 7 nights, that person will be your husband." So this announcement was made to all those who had come, and everybody said, "Oh, story, no big deal. Simple jinish." So everybody said, "Story I can tell." And a prince would come, talk about his wars and armies and huge battles. Within a few hours, the story would get over. Then the merchant would come, talk about his jewels and treasures and how he expanded his business. 1 hour, 2 hours, his story would also finish. Then the wrestler would come, talk about his muscles and elephants and this and that. What story would last for so long? So everybody slowly realized that this is an impossible task. Soon, everybody gave up and said, "Dada, parbo na, eta hobe na. Amra jacchi, bari jacchi. We can't do this." So the king got angry. He said, "What is this? Is there not one worthy man who can tell me a story?" So everybody said, "No, it can't be done. The king again asked, "Is there not one worthy man who can tell me a story? All of you fools." So suddenly there was a voice at the back, one person saying, "Your Highness, I can tell you a story." And everybody looked back, and they saw not a merchant, not a prince, not a wrestler, one poor farmer. He's saying he'll say a story of 7 days, 7 nights. Everybody started laughing at him. "You will tell a story, get out of here, ja ekante, bhag ekante." And king got angry. He said, quiet, you have talked a lot, give the poor fellow a chance. And so this poor farmer, he came in front and he started his story. Your Highness, I'm going to tell you a story which lasts 7 days and 7 nights. Once upon a time, there lived a farmer's family, and they used to grow wheat. At the end of every year, they would harvest the wheat and they would store it, and with that wheat, they would live for the next year. It was a very important occasion for them. They were happy, rejoicing, singing in the field, harvesting wheat, and very happy. And suddenly, they noticed far away, locusts were coming to that field. Lots of locusts. They panicked. They realized that soon the wheat would be gone. They tried to harvest it as fast as possible. But the locusts were quicker. The locusts came, descended on the fields. They ate all the wheat that was there. And soon the wheat was all destroyed. There was nothing. There was nothing left for the farmers. The poor farmers, what could they do? There was just a little bit of saving from last year. With that, they had a tough year. They saved some money and lived for another year. And they again grew wheat. At the end of that year, when the wheat grew and it was time for harvesting, they made an idea. What they did, they harvested much before the harvesting season and built a huge granary, a very big granary, and stored all the wheat in that. All the wheat was stored in that granary. And then they were happy. Now the locusts cannot harm us. Again, at the same time of the year, the locusts came. Millions and millions of locusts. The whole sky became black, covered with locusts. And then the locusts came to the field and they saw there's no wheat. The locusts became mad. They thought, where's the wheat gone? So they looked from here and there. They roamed like this around the field. And suddenly, they saw the huge granary. They saw the huge granary and realized that the wheat must be in that. So they circled the granary again and again. And suddenly, they noticed that there was a small hole in that granary. So they devised a plan. One little locust went into the hole and picked up a grain and flew away. A second locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. A third locust went into the hole. It was a fat locust. The locust got stuck in the hole. The locust got stuck in the hole. It wriggled its way in, picked up a grain. On the way coming out, wriggled its way out and flew away. Another locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. Another locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. Another locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. Another locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. Another locust went into the grain and picked up a hole. Another locust went into the hole, picked up a grain and flew away. And you know, and everybody realized this story could go on for years. But the king realized this was the wisest man in the whole audience. That man was made the future king. He married the princess, and everybody lived happily ever after. Thank you.
Kriti came, told a story, went away. Anyways, thanks Kriti.